running out of time, Anubarak. How far are we from the exit?
Not far. We have entered the Upper Kingdom. The exit should lead us to the base of the glacier itself. However, there are still hidden traps and pitfalls to account for.
Take cover!
Arthas!
The entire passage collapsed. There's no time to dig through this. I'll have to move quickly and find my own way out. Hopefully Anubarak and the others survived.
Speak, fool. This is more like it. At last.
I'll be singed if I get too close to those flames.
At last. Finally. At last.
I'll need this gold for when I reach the glacier.
This is more like it.
More of the Nerubians' blasted mechanisms. I'll have to time this perfectly.
Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. At last.
I'll make sure you suffer.
This is more like it.
Inventory is full.
At last. Frostmourne.
More gold. This might help us later.
At last. Finally. Frostmourne hungers.
Another quake?
Finally.
Faithless coward.
Frostmourne hungers.
You will know endless torment.
At last.
Faithless coward.
Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Finally. This is more like it. Finally. This is more like it.
What is it now?
At last. Finally. This is more like it. Finally.
I must find a way across this strange obstacle.
Last. This is more like it. At last. Speak, fool. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. For the Lich King. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. Tread lightly. No one orders me around. Finally. This is more like it. At last. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. At last. Finally. At last. This is more like it. Finally. At last. This is more like it.
Faithless coward.
At last. Tread lightly. Finally. At last. Finally. At last. This is more like it. Finally. At last. Finally. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. At last.
Anubarak, you made it.
I see now why the Lich King chose you as his champion of night. Few men could have survived this labyrinth alone.
Finally.
I have heard
What
the
is it now?
summons.
This is more like it.
Another earthquake. We must hurry, Death Knight.
Suffer. At last. Frostmourne hunger.
Something's breaking through. Defensive positions!
Heard the summons.
Speaks. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. No one orders me around. This is more like it. At last. Tread lightly. What is it now? This is more like it.
I serve only the
No
frozen.
one orders me around. Speak, fool. Finally.
We're running out of time. We must find the exit. They're
Tread lightly.
blocking the way to the exit. We'll have to fight our way through them to reach it.
Finally. What is it? Frostmourne. This is more like it. No one orders me around. Frostmourne hungers. What is it now? At last.
My might cannot be matched.
What is it now? Finally.
I have heard the summons.
No one orders me around.
In control. I serve only the frozen throne.
What is it now? Speak, fool. No one orders me around. At last. Frostmourne hungers. What is it now? Finally.
I'll consume the living
Speak,
and the
fool.
dead.
Frostmourne hungers.
My might cannot be matched.
Tread lightly.
Now quickly, head through that door. The exit to the surface lies just beyond.
It'll be good to see the sun again.
Remember, Illidan and the true battle still await us in the world above. Hopefully our trek through the Dark Earth brought us the precious time we need.